Just like the one-winged dove brings a steak, it sounds like she's singing. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Hello, Wonderhussy here. Just bumping along a dusty dirt road in the middle of nowhere, bound for nowhere. Well, actually not nowhere. I'm bound for an old abandoned homestead that I actually visited about 7 years ago, long time ago, before I had a YouTube channel. And well, as it so happens, I now live only 14 miles from this old abandoned homestead, so I thought I might as well go check it out and shoot a video. Since the first time I came out here, I didn't have a YouTube channel. And you know, I've been living here for about 6 months now, and I've thought about this old abandoned homestead, and well, I thought I should probably go back out there and maybe shoot a video since it's so close by. But I thought it's just an old abandoned house, a few outbuildings. It's really not that exciting. So I kind of, well, put it on the back burner. Until the other day, my girlfriend Jessica went over here to check it out, and she showed me some pictures that were pretty cool. Let's just say there have been some modifications done to this old abandoned homestead since I last visited 7 years ago. So I decided to drive the long, arduous 14 miles out here to check it out for myself. And lucky you, you get to come along with me. Okay, wow. This place is already like 1,000 times cooler than I remembered it being. Okay, so the first thing I'd like you to notice is the sound. Isn't that the most peaceful sound ever? The birds chirping, there's a couple bees buzzing. This is a veritable oasis in the desert. I guess I can understand why somebody built an old homestead here. I mean, we're out in the middle of some pretty barren terrain, and this right here is downright lush. I mean, you can see the surrounding landscape is pretty hard scrabble desert terrain, and well, it's a pretty classic high desert landscape. But apparently there's some kind of little creek or river or spring running through it, and that's where this little homestead is nestled in this grove of tamarisk trees and bamboo. See what I mean about it being an oasis? I mean, this really is an oasis in the middle of a pretty inhospitable environment. Imagine if you were a pioneer coming through on the old Spanish Trail, which isn't too far from here, and well, you just got tired of being on the trail, and your feet hurt, and your oxen were tired, your mule just about gave up, and you thought to yourself, do I really want to go all the way to Los Angeles? I never really liked the beach anyway. I think I'm just going to stay right here. I can't imagine that you could actually grow anything out here. You know what I mean? Like, even if your water supply was good, well, I suppose you might be able to sort of cultivate the earth around the house and maybe grow a little garden. But I don't know, man. This soil, it's pretty rocky and pretty rough. Anyway, I climbed up on this ridge just to get a sort of overview of the homestead. Now let's go down into the homestead area and take a look around and see if we can find these, well, these developments that my friend Jessica told me about. Whew. Okay, so I'm guessing that what we're dealing with here is just a single homestead, not a ghost town. I'd guess just one family lived here. But I'm not sure about any of this because, golly, I actually tried to do my research for once in my life. Last night I looked this place up and I couldn't find any information about it at all online. Anything to do with the history or, well, anything. So your guess is as good as mine on this one. Okay, so before we start poking around any of these buildings, let's just take a look around the grounds here. Like I said, there's these huge tamarisk trees. I mean, I don't know how old this tamarisk is, but I'd guess well over 100 years. Well, unfortunately, this tamarisk here might have done dried up the spring. I mean, it looks to me that this depression right here probably was where a spring flowed at one time, and that's why these people built their house, you know, right over there next to it. I mean, you can see there is still a little bit of spring grass, weeds growing down here in this depression. So apparently there's some groundwater not too far below our footsies. But as far as any standing water, not anymore. Well, maybe that's why the people left this homestead. What do we got over here? Well, we've got some old busted camp detritus. Apparently people like to hang out here and party. And who can blame them? I can think of a lot worse places for a party. And all of them are in Las Vegas. But yeah, there's a little campfire ring here. So people do come out here and camp. And it looks like they also come out here and shoot up these old barrels. Oh, wow, look at this old fire pit. What's this? Oh, I thought it was a fire pit, but it's just a circular stone foundation of something. I wonder what it was back in its day. You know, the way it's situated here, right in front of that main house, and then that other back house, and then there's another little house hidden back in these trees. It's almost like it was like a welcome sign, like welcome to Shady Acres, or whatever the name of this subdivision might have been. So, yeah, I don't think it was really a ghost town, but maybe it was more of a ghost settlement, and there was like a few different families living here. Or maybe just a few different bachelor miners. A lot of mining in this area, so it could have just been some bachelors living it up out here without the presence of any women. You can see there's some pretty interesting graffiti on the outside. It looks like some hippies have been here because there's some mushrooms, and there's a little gnome looking at the mushrooms. And there's a little cat, and it says, "Let it be." And then there's this. Okay, this is what I was talking about. When my friend Jessica came out here the other day, she showed me some pictures she'd taken of these, well, I think really cool tarot cards that were graffiti painted on this old abandoned building. And I know some of you just hate any graffiti no matter what it is, but I think that's really cool. I mean, that's well executed, it's colorful, I don't know, I feel like it adds to the structure. And moreover, I think there's something of a local tie-in going on here. Because if you look at it, it's the Ace of Cups. So there's a guy or a guy's hand holding a beer glass. And then there's two doves bringing in a steak. Just like the one-winged dove brings a steak, it sounds like she's singing. Mmm, mmm, mmm. I'm actually going to have steak later tonight at a restaurant about 15 miles from here called Steaks and Beer. And I'm pretty sure this is a callback to that restaurant because, well, there's a steak and there's a beer. The beer glass even has a logo on it that I think ties into the local brewery over here. So I'm guessing that some local person might be responsible for these awesome tarot, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, card graffiti pieces. I'm a fan. Let's see what else there is in there. Actually, before we go in, just a quick pan around the outside of the building. Made out of stucco, it looks like, and pretty well constructed. I mean, not a small cabin. Looks like it's gonna be multiple rooms. Wood roof. Oh, looks like there's a crumbling chimney. There's some pretty interesting graffiti over here too. Happiness is a warm gun. Bang, bang, shoot, shoot. Remember the Beatles song? Oh, look at this. Going in at the top of the door here under the roof, it says, established 1966. Wow, so I guess, was this place built in 1966? Well, that's not that old at all. Maybe this isn't an old settler's homestead. Well, I know miners in these parts lived in some pretty rough accommodations up until fairly recently. Like if you watch the video I made about the town of Shoshone, there's those really cool cave houses in Dublin Gulch where miners basically just dug out into these talc cliffs, dug out rooms, and lived in these caves until the 1970s, believe it or not. So I suppose this could have just been built by some local miners back in 1966. Okay, don't let this graffiti freak you out. We're going to approach the all-seeing eye. Walking in. Oh my gosh, look down. There's even a carpet here. Okay, anyway, we're going into this little entryway, and we could go right, or we could go left. Or actually, look at it. There's a plus sign on that side and a minus sign on that side. I think I'm going to go plus first. Wow, look at this old floor. Oh, goodness, is this linoleum or tile? Oh, it's linoleum. My goodness, so maybe this was built in 1966. Uh-oh, brain damage. Yeah, there's a lot of weird graffiti. Here above the door it says, "The Fool and Me." Then it says, "Colonial Wasters." This spot is beautiful. I wish I lived here, us too. I'd miss Wi-Fi. I'm with you. I would love to live here. It is beautiful, but I sure would miss my Wi-Fi. Okay, anyway, I'm easily distracted. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, look here. It was even wired for electricity. So this definitely was built in the 60s. Holy cow. Yeah, there's all kind of wires coming in, pipe coming up. Look, light switches. Oh my God, this house must have been amazing. Holy cow, look at the interior. Well, I guess this is the inside. I don't know, it looks like a kind of an unfinished ceiling in here. Okay, the first thing we come upon is this terrifying little vestibule, which I would guess was like a toilet, water closet maybe? I mean, there's this creepy old bench in it now. But yeah, look, that's where a toilet once sat. You can see that for sure. So I guess in theory, you still could sit on this little bench and do your business down the hole where the toilet used to be. I think I'd rather just go outside in the bushes. Well, wow, what a kind of creepy little bathroom. But, well, you know, back in those days, I guess they didn't have a full bath with a bathtub and a shower and everything. Or did they? You know, now that I'm looking at it, that was probably just like the water closet, and then it looks like there probably was a bathtub or a shower or something here, because isn't that the fittings for shower handles? And then there's a pipe coming in. So yeah, there must have been a bathtub here. Holy cow, this would have been an amazing bathroom with that big window there. And just a reminder, the view outside that window was that big tamarisk tree where I was poking around at first. So it'd be real nice to sit in here and take a bath and listen to the sound of the breeze and the tamarisk trees. Sounds like a song. Wow, this place is way nicer than I expected. And yeah, I'm guessing it definitely dates from the 60s. Oh, here's some more graffiti. "Waiting for the worms." Isn't that from Pink Floyd, The Wall? Yeah, it is, because look, this one here says, "In the Flesh," which is definitely a song from The Wall. I remember it well from when I was a little kid. My parents used to listen to it. "So ya thought ya might like to go to the show, to feel the warm thrill of confusion, that space cadet glow." Oopsie. Man, it's a good thing I'm way out here in the middle of nowhere and no one can hear me. Well, it's like they say, no one can hear you scream. Okay, so that was the Pink Floyd bathtub nook. Before we go into the next room, on the opposite side, well, there's this weird little rise or foundation step. I'm not sure what that's for, but it says "Running with the Pack," and then there's a peace sign. Okay, I don't know what that is. Is that another Pink Floyd song? Okay, now it looks like we're coming into what was a bedroom. Oh gosh, look at this. The bed is still in it. Shut the front door. Or, well, wait a minute. There is no front door. Looks like it was a pretty comfy bed. Somebody put some couch cushions in there. But that's cool how it's built right into the... I mean, it's just built right into the wall. Look at that. The bed frame. Nice, solid stucco wall, too. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. I wonder if that's cinder block underneath. This house was built to last. I mean, look at that window frame. That amazing view of the desert through it. Even these bullet holes couldn't really do it too much damage. Look, there's where he plugged in his cell phone at night when he went to bed. Just kidding. I know they didn't have cell phones back then, but that's probably where he plugged in his answering machine or something like that. And then next to that, it says, "Think for yourself." Oh, and then there's a pupfish, an endangered pupfish. I wonder what that's all about. Oh, I see. It ties into this. There's another tarot card. And this one, well, the light's kind of weird on it. I don't know if you can see. It's the Page of Cups. Okay, I don't know anything about tarot cards. Actually, my sister kind of does, but she wasn't able to come with me today. So I don't know what any of these cups, or what any of these cards symbolize or mean. So this one, though, just looking at the art and taking into account that they're probably all kind of have local tie-ins. Well, this one here pretty clearly represents the hot spring. Okay, there's a big hot spring in town. And it's, well, it looks like that. It's surrounded by reeds. It's got mountains in the background. And then over on this wall, it says grape room. Thank you. Okay, wow, these grapes. This is really well executed graffiti. Again, I don't know how you feel about graffiti. Some people probably just think any graffiti is terrible on a historic structure like this. But this structure is only from the 1960s. It's not like it's from the, 1800s. I think this graffiti adds quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. Let's go back in to the house where we started out here by the all-seeing eye. Remember, we went the plus way. Well, now it's time to go the minus way. Okay, so over here in Minus Town, more Pink Floyd. Us, 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 us. And them, 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 them. Here we have Let It Bleed, which I think is a Rolling Stones thing. And I'll be honest, I just never really got into the Rolling Stones, so I think that's the name of a Rolling Stones album. I don't know if it's a song, and if it is, well, I wouldn't be able to sing any of it. So you should be happy about that. Oh, hold on, except for this one right here, Gimme Shelter. Okay, even I know that Rolling Stones song, and that's actually an awesome song, and you all know it. You don't need me to sing it. Rape! Murder! It's just a shot away! It's just a shot away! Here it says, Mean Mistreater. I don't know what that is. And then here it says, The Star. Okay, this also looks like it's at the hot spring. Golly, now I'm really curious about who did this graffiti art, because whoever it is, if you're watching this video, you're an amazing artist. I'm a fan. Okay, and then there's one more room to go into here, and this looks like it might have been the living room, because, oh yeah, look. Look how amazing this fireplace was. Oh my word, remember we saw the chimney from outside? Look at that. And well constructed. Oh, this place must have been so cozy in the winter. Wow. And then look how cool this floor is. It's wood timbered. These are wood timbers. And then this in between is cement, I guess. Oh, wow. Far out. They really did a nice job with this place. So that makes me wonder if it really was just some bachelor miners living out here. I mean, would they have gone to all this fanciness lengths, you know, laid out this nice floor and fancy linoleum? Maybe there was a family living here. Maybe it was a bar, a restaurant or something. But then why would there have been that one bedroom? That doesn't make sense. Maybe it was an inn, an old-fashioned inn for weary travelers. One bedroom only. Who could say? But this was probably, well, almost certainly the living room or the main hanging out area. And it also happens to be where my #1 favorite graffiti piece in this entire building is. Okay, this is the Knight of Cups. It's a guy on horseback, and he looks like he's wearing some kind of crazy Sergeant Pepper suit with a fancy top hat. You know why I like this so much? That's Chief Tacopa. Okay, the town of Tacopa, which is just 15 miles from here where all this stuff is. It's named after him, so I guess Tacopa means wildcat in the Paiute Shoshone language. Well, he was a leader of the Paiute Shoshone back in the early 1900s, I guess, and so he was pretty instrumental in brokering peace deals between the white settlers and the natives that were still living here. And so he was friendly with both sides. I guess he stipulated that he get a fancy new band leader's outfit once a year in exchange for his services. Uh-oh. Dirt biker just drove by. Hopefully he didn't see me. Hopefully he didn't hear me singing. Anyway, yeah, that's Chief Tacopa. I made a whole video about him once. You can check that out. I went over to his grave. It's in Pahrump. He was a really cool legendary figure, and if you look at the photo that this painting is based off of, he actually kind of looked like Jimi Hendrix. I mean, he was stylish as all get out. He had this really nice silk top hat with a flower in it, just like this, and he always wore this band leader's outfit, which apparently some white miner guy would get him a new band leader's outfit every year, so he always looked sharp, even when he was just riding around on his mule with his chalice. Again, whoever painted this stuff, please come to my house and paint this on the side of my Quonset hut. Okay, anyway, I better explore the rest of this place before that dirt biker comes back and, well, who knows, starts laughing at me. Oh, One of My Turns, another Pink Floyd song. I'll spare you that one. Oh, what's this? Some kind of weird shrine set up in this little alcove in the wall. What does this say? Some hippie drivel, no doubt. Let's see. We are piles of dirt who figured out how to stand up, walk on dirt, sometimes water, pick our noses, occasionally guitars, make more piles of dirt. Who could figure out how to stand up, walk on dirt, even spit? And it's signed Gary Lee Donovan. Telluride Writers Guild, 8 April 2019. Vernier's Homestead. Oh, and then there's his email address. Oh, I'm gonna have to email this guy because that's not even really just hippie drivel. I actually think that's kind of cool what he wrote. And I wonder if he knows this is somebody named Vernier's Homestead here. I wasn't able to find any information online. Well, that's cool. Thanks, Gary. Okay, and then there's a few things laid in. I guess you could call them supplies laid in on top of this awesome mantle on this fireplace. I mean, look at this fireplace. It's got these weird little, what is this, just for ventilation, I guess, hole in it. Interesting. There's one on this side too. Wow, what a friggin' fireplace. I mean, you could have a banging fire in here on a cold winter's day. Yeah, there's some bottles of water, half-drunk bottle of cherry Coke, bleh. an empty Smirnoff Ice. And I hate to even wonder what this is. Oh my God. Oh, it's just a bunch of nails. Probably can't even see this. It's a red Solo cup full of nails and screws wrapped up in tape. So not very much here in the way of supplies. If you had to spend the night here, you'd have to pretty much bring everything. But oh my God, you could have an amazing party here. Okay, well, there's 2 more buildings we got to check out before we leave. So let's go on over here and check out this bad boy. Okay, now this little house looks older, so maybe this is more historic. Oh wow, look at this amazing porch. That would really keep you cool on a hot summer's day. You can see it's facing the direction that the sun comes blasting in. So provided much needed shade and relief. Oh, and then it looks like it even opens up into the house. Oh wow, look at the kitchen in this place. This is amazing. Oh my goodness. Looks like it was definitely plumbed, so I don't know, maybe it's not that old. Had a big old sink. Really nice big work area. I mean, maybe this was the kitchen for that other building too, because we didn't see a kitchen in there. Welcome to the party house. Respect the buildings, clean up your trash, so we can party here for years to come. Love that. That's really cool. Let's see if there's anything in the freezer. Nope, it's empty. Doesn't even smell bad. In the fridge, an empty box of Busch beer, Busch Light at that. And then look at this cool built-in stone countertop next to the fridge. I guess maybe that's where the microwave was. Oh look, here's the guest book. Sign in. Matthew, here. Jake, here. Lars, here. Nick V, here. Adam, here. Look at that, how cute. Sweep, pick up trash. That's pretty cool. I mean, I guess if this is just being used as a party house, at least people sort of respect it. I mean, as far as party houses go, what an amazing party house. Back here, it looks like it was some kind of pantry. Probably had a bunch of shelves with a bunch of cans of beans. All kinds of stuff laid in. Oh, there's a stovepipe up here, so maybe there was some kind of little... I can't imagine why there would be a stove back here, but okay. All right, let's go back around on the porch because there was another room that we didn't go in. Right here. See what's in this one. Oh, this room's empty. But it's interesting how there's a hole going through to the kitchen. So it's almost like this was a cafe. You know what I mean? Like this little room here had like 4 or 5 tables, and the waitress would take your order, and then she'd come on up here to the window and go, 2 eggs over easy, 1 side of toast with chipped beef on a shingle, or whatever those waitress orders are. I never did work as a diner waitress. But yeah, and then the cook in there would fry it up, and then she'd bring it back out to your table, or maybe it was just one of those places you walked up to the window. What do I know? All right, so clearly this building here wasn't a house. It was just a kitchen building. So either they built the kitchen separately from the living quarters, which they used to do way back in the day to prevent fires, but these buildings weren't built way back in the day. At least that one certainly wasn't. That was 1966. This one I haven't seen. I haven't seen any dates carved into the stucco on this one, but I don't know. This one just looks real old. Yeah, it's stucco, but it looks like it was built out of mud and straw. Look at that. You can actually see the bones of the building because the stucco flaked away. And that looks real old to me. I mean, that looks like it was built from the mud and dirt, like right out of that hill over there. Okay, so we explored the kitchen building. We explored the hangout building with the fireplace. There's one more building to check out. And oh, this looks like it might have just been a garage. I mean, there was a really big carport where they maybe worked on cars and repairing stuff. And then there are a couple rooms next to it. Let's see what's in here. Oh yeah, look, rusty old car parts. This must have been the workshop garage. Although it's very substantially built for just a garage, you know, look at this. Same kind of stucco construction. But yeah, this was pretty clearly the garage or the work building. Let me just go poke my nose around the back and see if we missed anything. I mean, this landscape is surreal. All this bamboo, it almost feels like we're, like, especially if you look, well, either way, it almost looks like we're at the beach. Looks like if we just went over those sand dunes there in the distance, there'd be water. Boy, don't I wish. Oh, yeah, it looks like there was an old chicken coop or something back here. So I guess maybe they raised a few animals. I mean, isn't that a pen or, I don't know. It looks like this whole thing is a pen. It's like a little corral. And it's right on the other side of this sand dune or berm from that workshop. And it looks like, well, it looks like it's right next to, you have to look through this barbed wire fence. This looks like some kind of river channel almost. Like if they had flash floods, water would come roaring down through there. Yeah, that's what carved away that mud cliff. So there must be some kind of river or stream bed here, which makes sense because there's a spring here that facilitated the growth of all this bamboo and tamarisk. So I don't know what creek or stream this would have been. I don't know enough about the geography of this area. Oh, I just saw a dust cloud up ahead. I wonder if that means somebody's approaching. Or is it smoke? Is my car on fire? Oh, I better go check. What if that dirt biker set my car on fire because he recognized it and went, oh, we don't want that meddlesome YouTuber telling everybody about our party house. They're going to come shut it down. I'll torch her tires and I'll show her. Golly, I better get back and check. Okay. Whew! Nobody torched my tires after all. Win-win. Okay, well, what do I make of this homestead? This was, first of all, really, really cool. I'm embarrassed and disappointed in myself that I never bothered to come back here after my first visit. Honestly, I feel like it would be pretty cool without the graffiti on its own. I think these buildings are really neat, and the location is really neat, you know? The way it's situated and kind of nestled in these dunes along this dry riverbed in the shadow of these mountains that, gosh, you can barely even see from down here. Really a true oasis, and it would have been amazing without the graffiti. But I don't know, call me weird. I felt like the graffiti added quite a bit.